This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fights, the Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined with George Groves. We've just finished a sort of solid nights of fights on Channel 5 on Wasserman. How do you reflect on everything? Chloe Watson winning, Nathan Gorman coming up short. How do you sort of look at it?
Yeah, so I mean, another sort of solid sort of Channel 5 sort of type show. Chloe Watson, I'm happy for her. She won the European title, and there was times where I thought, oh, maybe she might not get this. So I think even on my cards at the end, I had it even, but 2 of them rounds I scored even. So there was no argument for her to have been a winner, but she had to get through a couple of tough tests. She got caught with a few shots that she needs to make the changes and adapt to in the future. But a good solid win for her. Nathan Gorman, disappointing. I thought he's way out of shape. Didn't box well. Couldn't come with that second wave that the corner asked him to do. Just couldn't even press the fight. So well done to Marionette. I think that's how we said his name. So I had it right.
Yeah, no,
I had it right earlier. So good showing from him, and then a great debut at the end from Howard. I thought he was spot on. Punch perfect sort of debut. Nice and calm and measured and accurate and spiteful. So yeah, a really bright future for him if he can keep busy. I think he's out again in a couple of weeks on the Wasserman DAZN card. So yeah, bright future.
Absolutely. We'll just run through a few topics. I know you're a bit pressed for time. I did want to touch on, we were talking earlier about it being 10 years since the Carl Froch fight. It was sort of references to your watch along with Deck Taylor. Looking back on it now and sort of reflecting on it 10 years on, as difficult as it can be, is it good to sort of look back on it with some different memories in a sense?
It's nice that the podcast say, this is a good idea, let's do a watch along. So the fact that the sort of it's still, it's not relevant. Obviously, it's the opposite of relevant. It's 10 years old, but it still, carries this weight. And we've had loads of kind comments since, and it's evoked a lot of memories and feelings for a lot of people who saw it at the time 10 years ago. So I've changed obviously as a human being. Froch has changed as a human being, and I definitely show a lot more of a vulnerable side and sort of more of a human side. Was a bit more of a sort of a robot back then. Ruthless in my pursuit to win a world title. Yeah. So it was nice. It was almost a little bit therapeutic, but it was sad to be honest. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to get sad. Thought, fucking hell, have I not just got over it already entirely? But no, I haven't. But that's okay. I like that. I like that about myself. That I used to hide my emotions, but not just hide them from the public. I used to hide them from myself. Be emotionless, but actually, it's good for the soul to process stuff. And fuck me, what a bad stoppage! It's fucking horrific.
I actually looked at it. I was like, fucking hell, that is really, really bad.
That's the second time round. Yeah, the fucking. So I was sitting there. I hadn't watched it in a long time. Sitting there twitchy bum a little bit, thinking, oh, what if this turns out and it's a good stoppage? But it wasn't. I was winning that round, and Froch has one tiny bit of success. I'm not out of it, and Howard Foster makes a grave error and jumps in. But oh well, it's boxing.
Absolutely. Just moving on. This week came with the news that Conor Benn had his permission for a licence to fight in the UK rejected. Obviously, with the appeal still going on with the British Boxing Board of Control. This came with sort of a lot of mixed opinions. Many people saying that they feel like sort of there's a bit of a witch hunt with Conor Benn, and the board have got an agenda. With it sort of being 18 months on now, with this whole situation, not knowing what's going on, where does it really sit with yourself?
I like Conor Benn. When I've met him, I've liked him. I've appreciated the way he fights. Would I sort of testify that he's innocent or guilty? No, I don't have a clue. I don't know, and therefore, that opinion is sort of, for me, just out of the loop. I think it's been a battle in the public eye, in the media, and no one's really doing particularly that well. I thought Conor didn't really handle it that great. And now neither of the British Boxing Board of Control. I assume it's just ego speaking now. It's the board saying, no, you ain't gonna beat us. Just plead guilty. Do your backdated suspension. You spend 18 months or whatever it's been, and then we'll give you your license straight away and you can fight. They want the biggest names in British boxing to fight under a British license, of course. But Conor Benn, I'm sure, is saying, nah, fuck that, I'm not pleading guilty to nothing, I'm innocent. So it's like come to a bit of a stalemate. And it's sad for Conor Benn, because he'll never be the fighter he could have been. You know, he's had that momentum robbed of him, and you know, even if he goes on to do great things in the future, and I hope he does, it still will have an effect. There'll always be that question mark if it could have been better, but it's still ongoing. So, you know, how long can you just be crushing it in the gym without fighting? It's not good. So, you know, if he wants to fight on, he needs to figure it out somehow. I don't know how you do that though. So I think also people just move on. Like people get fed up and bored, and it's not nice, because, like, you know, this is Conor Benn's life, but people are just like, oh, can we not just have a result now? Can we just not just whatever? We don't care anymore. Just make someone make a decision. But I'd like to see him back in action in a British ring with a British license. So I don't know how they figure that out, but that's what I would like to see.
Absolutely, George. Thank you for taking time to speak to you. Appreciate it, and I know it's late, so I do appreciate you taking time, mate. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.